is incorrect. Override denied. Your password is incorrect. Override denied. Program activated.
Hello and welcome to another Username Nerd podcast. My name is Mike Hewitt, and with me always I have
Tim Hewitt.
Tim Hewitt. How are you doing?
Good. We did a couple of podcasts about Batman v Superman right off the bat. Listen, so right off the bat,
We're already apologizing.
the instant that I went home after we recorded the podcast, I literally started thinking about it. I'm like, oh man.
I'm very interested because I still haven't seen
said
it,
a
so I have
few
no
things.
idea.
I said a few things wrong there. I was like, what? So I know, literally.
Dude, the look on your face is like,
Oh
I
gosh,
messed
because
up.
there's certain things where I said this happened and it didn't happen, and it was just like,
Okay, do you know which ones?
I know, like the fight between Batman and Superman. There were certain
Didn't happen?
things. No, but there were certain key moments that in my mind that I brought up that, you asked a question. Gosh, I wish
So
before this I had a whole list in my head of things that I did wrong.
what I remember was he like comes and he's like, hey, they got my, and he's just like,
yeah,
Batman?
okay.
Is that real?
No. There was also a big chunk that I left out about when he goes to save Superman's mom. He kills like 10, 15 people in the
I
room
remember.
before he gets that. No, I never covered it.
I thought-
there were
okay.
like goons in a room, and he like throws a grenade in that room, and it just explodes, like killing 4 people.
Okay, this is making it worse, but
Well,
sure.
no, but there are things that I left out. The other thing that we didn't get that I really, really wanted to was the fact that all his vehicles had huge, like, machine guns, just insane amount of armory on it, which is very reminiscent to...
Well, Batman Returns, he had... No, actually, Batman, the original.
Which is very reminiscent to Batman.
'Cause
But
it's-
did Batman ever kill anybody
no.
outright with those guns?
No, he just shot
So in that
a
chase
wall.
scene, you remember the chase scene
Yeah.
I was describing?
Yeah.
What happens is he drags that other
Drags
car,
the car.
smashes it, pancakes into
Right.
the other car, and then the car in front of him, the big SUV, all of a sudden it's like a convertible or something, like the whole back end just pops off and flies away, and there's a guy standing in the back with a minigun.
Okay.
Starts shooting at the Batmobile, and then the Batmobile basically jumps up 2 miniguns and just shreds that car and the dude in the back to pieces with just a hailstorm of bullets. So,
Okay.
I mean, those were 2 really big things where I was like, well, he only used guns in the dream sequence.
Oh, yeah.
Not true. He kills people on the reg in real life.
And there's a difference between going up to somebody and punching somebody and you know that killed that person, but you're like, he could be unconscious, and then just taking a gun and shooting him in the head.
Very true. So the other thing was the fact that I like outright said that Aquaman like floated out, looked at the camera, and then floated back away. And I even said like he didn't even like attack the camera or anything, but he does. He actually floats out. He looks at the camera, and then he like jabs at it with his the javelin, and then swims, or the camera goes
tried
back
it?
or whatever. Yeah, I tried it. And the other thing that I didn't even realize until after the fact, and I started rethinking it, I was like, Wonder Woman's only in the last 15 minutes. That's not true, actually. She shows up periodically throughout the movie as her civilian identity. So I didn't even put it together until
That
afterwards.
was
I was
her.
like, oh. So if you remember me saying that, like, Bruce Wayne went down and he is hacking Lex Luthor's place, and then some chick steals his box, steals a box he's using for hacking, and then he tracks her down, and they have a little back and forth, and she eventually gives it back. That was all Wonder Woman the entire time.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even recognize it. I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, great. So just take this podcast with a grain of salt, because it also had been a while since I'd seen it. So I was like, okay, it was foggy.
Well, it
on some
doesn't
of the
sound that
details.
bad.
No, it's not that bad. I probably, if I go back and listen to them, I'll be like, oh gosh, there's so many more things. But hey, you know what?
You're not alone. There's
Very true, yeah,
a lot of people that are
Very true.
doing that are the same thing. So
And also I feel like my general opinions about the movie are still the same, which is I loved Batman. I'm actually really this is maybe something I didn't mention. I'm glad that it's not the same style as a Marvel movie. And in my opinion,
True.
Not everything has to be Marvel. You know what I mean? I'm okay with a gritty, more serious paced movie. Now, that being said, that's not exactly what they did. It was very confusing. It was very...
I'm totally fine with Christopher Nolan's Batman.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of comedy in there.
Not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Did I mention that they killed Jimmy Olsen?
Oh, really?
Superman's...
Yeah.
Hey, Superman, yeah. It doesn't actually state. He does not it's right in the beginning where Lois Lane shows up to interview that terrorist in the desert, and then they frame Superman to make it. Jimmy Olsen's there with a camera, and he's the one who has the tracker in the camera. So they they bust open the camera. They're like, oh, you were tracking us. You're working for the CIA. And they hold a gun to Jimmy Olsen's head. And Jimmy Olsen's like, says in whatever language they're using, like, Lois didn't know anything about it. It was all me. And then, boom, they shoot him in the head. Like, what?
Well,
but
they also killed Batman. I mean, killed Superman, too, so...
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, but they don't actually come out and say that character is Jimmy Olsen. But from what everybody's saying, that's supposed to be Jimmy Olsen. I'm like, really?
So I'm not a big Superman person, but Superman, that's how, what was it, 20 years ago when Superman dies?
Yeah.
Doomsday's the one that kills him. So it's like they were like, let's throw everything in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Let's throw, what was the best Batman? There's a good Batman story. Superman died. Let's throw that in there. Let's just throw everything in there.
And I think that's why it felt so, rushed. Because they were trying to cram so much into
maybe not
one movie.
rushed, but just trying to fabricate the best movie. Because before...
Okay, I don't want to turn this into another...
Yeah, you're right.
Because that'd be 3 in a row, and
but before,
2 rife with inaccuracy.
When they made Batman movies, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, they didn't take anything from the comic books other than, here's a villain.
Yeah,
Even the first couple of X-Men movies, they didn't do that. Now they're here are really good storylines, and I feel like that's what they're like. They're like, oh, that's the model to follow now. Now go to the comic books. There's great stories. Pull them, and we'll try to do it.
Which doesn't that make sense?
If
you're making a movie, you're like, hey, there's already this awesome story that a lot of people really appreciate.
Yes.
Why don't we pull from
But it feels like people that will really know it and do it well
are always like, they didn't do it justice, or yada, yada, yada. Yeah. So you can't win. It's whatever.
So.
But either way, you should keep making superhero movies.
But that's not what we're really here to talk about.
That is not.
What are we talking about?
We are talking about augmented reality.
Augmented reality.
What is augmented reality, Mike?
Augmented reality is there's a few kind of games on our phones right now. Basically,
I was gonna say, that's my first.
It's like reality, but
augmented.
But augmented. You're not putting on like what's the new goggles?
Oculus Rift.
Oculus Rift. You're not putting Oculus Rift where it's a completely fabricated world.
You're not
basically you're looking
at
through a lens, and whatever you're seeing is real, but then there's some other things thrown in there that is not real.
So you see the real world around you, but you also see on interacting and on top of that real world, whatever you want. Like the best example from the video we watched and from things that I've seen is literally you could watch TV on any surface in your house. Or even without a surface, you could just put a screen in the middle of the room.
Well, let's talk about past augmented reality. And this is a good 4 years ago. I know there was one on my phone where it was like a camera, so you're looking through your phone and you see whatever's on the side, out on the other side.
Video though, not still image.
It's whatever. It's taking your camera and basically looking through it, just like you would take a picture. You look around. But then they would give you a little sheet of paper you could cut
that
out.
Had what was this little picture?
It's like a
VR code or
it's like a QR code or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And what that is doing is it's giving the app or the processing whatever chip or whatever a reference point of this is where I want this tower defense.
And it's like feels like projecting.
Yeah.
So it's projecting this sort of make believe or holographic image
because it really doesn't know where to put it except for that piece of paper. Now, I'm very interested on how this is going to work.
Yeah, because the new technology that we've seen, which we're going to be talking about, the Microsoft HoloLens.
Which is baked into Windows 10.
Ooh.
So they're ready to go with it. So, yeah.
But that looks like it doesn't need a reference point. It can just kind of map the area around you and know this is a wall, this is a surface. So I'm able to put something up on that.
Yeah, and I don't know what referencing it takes because there's nothing on that wall. Does it know that it looks at it and can say, okay, that's the corner, so I'm always going to do a foot down and a foot over?
Well, it feels like it just throws it up on the wall, and then you can actually move and manipulate it to your
True,
liking.
but when you go forward or walk back,
oh, I see what you mean.
That TV's not going to get bigger or smaller. It's got to know how far you are away from that wall.
I wonder if
if you go around a corner, I mean, how is that?
GPS? No, that's way too inaccurate.
No, it can't be GPS.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder if it knows where you're at in the house. Maybe there's sensors that come with it.
It has to be something from. And this is a demo, and we're gonna go ahead. And, I'm gonna play this. And so, sorry about that. Here we go.
Technology is all around us.
And so basically, this is.
Aspect of our lives.
While it's getting this up,
us to do amazing
this is Microsoft's kind of.
But what if we could go further?
New secret project.
What if we could go beyond the screen?
There's nothing really. Yeah, go ahead.
See a guy's house, and literally he puts on a pair of goggles, and he just goes he throws up his hand, and all of a sudden the whole
is the world with holograms.
Changes with interaction. He's watching soccer on a wall.
The refrigerator has to-do lists on it.
They're making a project on the computer there. They're 3D modeling a motorcycle, and there's a little model.
Yeah, so let's go ahead. I'm going to rewind it a little bit.
Why?
What did I do?
What did you do? He accidentally hit next. Now we got another Tina Fey ad where she talks about shoes that have little toe socks.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Bear with me.
You know what my favorite part of that whole that commercial right there is? She's like, I got roid rage. Hemorrhoids. I'm like, oh, Tina Fey.
So Tina Fey.
No. Okay. Okay, so you can put like a to-do list on your refrigerator. There's all sorts of applications.
Okay, we're back. I want to kind of go through this and kind of break it down.
Okay.
The first part
is good on the pause.
Ugh.
You know what I mean? There you go.
So this first section is his house. So he's walking through. I like the to-do list on the refrigerator. See what I'm saying on the corner of the refrigerator?
Yeah, it feels like.
It's got to know that it's an inch from the upper right-hand corner and an inch from the top, an inch from the right. But when you walk closer to it,
I'm sure it can.
Your aspect is different.
Yeah, but I'm sure it can register.
I'm sure it can.
Towards it. I don't think it'll be that steady.
I don't think it'll be that steady. What if you're
very steady?
It's really nice. Now
but I feel like it'll be a little bit more shaky.
What if you're running towards it? Oh my gosh!
Well,
it'd give you a headache. I feel.
Well, then don't wear the VR goggles and run around your house. I don't know. That seems like a bad idea to begin with. But
I can totally see that during football. You could, if they could put those inside the football.
Players?
Yeah, the players.
Why?
Because it would pick out people you would know that, hey, that person is there, or this is a good person to throw to. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I like that. I like that.
And see, on the back wall, we have
like
4
apps.
icons.
It looks like
you have Skype, headphones, obviously Windows.
The Windows
store. And then an Xbox
Games.
controller.
That's the Windows game store, too.
Now, what that does, that's just there for looks.
I imagine.
But this is really cool, the little weather thing.
Yeah. The weather thing, whatever. I can get weather anyway. I always feel like weather apps and stuff like that are just pushing their way into my life constantly. Like, get out of my face, weather. I don't care.
Yeah. I care
it's
more
like-
more now about weather than I used to.
Well, I feel with this new job, I'm caring a
Exactly.
lot more.
When you start driving a lot more traffic.
No, not only that, because
Care
I'm
about-
doing claims and stuff. So
Oh,
literally,
yeah.
my whole week has been weather. It's been like huge hailstorms in Texas and
I
blah
could
blah blah.
see that.
Oh my gosh, it's driving me crazy. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Now
So we're going to continue on. I think weather is one of an easy way to make something look cool.
True.
You
Very true.
can make something look beautiful.
So right there, he's watching.
the last thing
soccer
is, yeah,
on a
soccer on
blank wall, just blank wall.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's not like a super futuristic apartment where everything's blank.
Right.
It's literally just there's a big space.
Well, no,
in the
you know what?
wall.
I think that's the TV. He's taken the TV off the wall and
Off
put it on the
wall.
ground.
Well, yeah, that's my thing. If that's really true, you can watch TV on any surface, and you can adjust the screen and make it bigger or smaller with your hands. Why would you ever buy a TV?
You know what's
again?
going to be the worst? Driving. Just put the TV right in front of you.
Oh,
while
I
you're
imagine
driving.
that they will
So many
not let
accidents.
you use these while driving. I can.
Well, I'm assuming it's against the law, but
and maybe eventually it'll be like a safety thing where you have
heads
to
up.
wear these.
Yeah,
while
heads
you're
up.
driving.
Yeah. I could see definitely.
If we don't get cars that'll drive for us anyway.
But like I could see you looking at the oven and seeing a big like, hey, you got 20 minutes left on your pizza or something.
Or, and I know I keep going back to TV, but there could be like 3 people in the same room, all watching different shows on the exact same wall.
Yeah.
So that could be kind of interesting too.
I hate that though.
Well, that's because you actually have a family and enjoy social interaction.
I like
for
yes.
for recluses like myself, that's
True.
brilliant.
True.
All right,
It's the
Okay.
world with holograms.
And then
So
he
literally you
just pinches it and makes it bigger.
now here's my thing. Okay, I feel like you would. How do the VR goggles there know that your hand is doing that motion? Because in another section of the clip here, he's doing it like off out of his field of view. He's like pinching and pulling stuff out, and he's like skipping through and stuff.
Well, because they when you're looking at a screen
Mm-hmm.
that's between you and the world, but it has a camera because it needs to know where to put stuff. It needs to view the world, and so when you have your hand out there, the hand is picking it. The camera's picking it up because
Yeah.
the camera needs to know. Okay, this is where
Gotcha.
you know what I'm
So
saying.
the same way it's registering where to put that screen and how to position that screen as you're moving around the room,
Mm-hmm.
it's also registering your hand.
Yes.
But I'm saying, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, so we'll keep going. But I think
Mm-hmm.
in one point of view, he's doing stuff with his hand out of his field of view.
Okay.
Like
then
down
that's,
here where he's like,
that's wrong.
Right? That's
Yeah.
not right. All right. Yeah.
But another thing I got was I don't remember it. It's a little bitty box that you put in front of your computer, and then because I was playing
That
a lot of
smartwatch one.
Minecraft.
Oh, yeah.
And it ruined my hand, so I could grab stuff,
And it
and it
ruined
knew
my
it, everything else, but it was so choppy, and
Yeah.
I'm worried that there's going to be a couple of iterations through this.
Yeah.
Then he's walking.
enable
Okay,
the
so
bus.
now we're on.
So
She's
apparently,
looking at a
first
computer,
of all,
which why do you
in
have a
this,
computer?
In this awesome metropolitan couple, they are building a
motorcycle.
motorcycle in their apartment. So that's the first thing that's awesome. All right, and then they're designing this motorcycle on a computer.
Which why do you need a
Why
computer?
do you have a computer? I feel like there's still going to be, until well into this technology is advanced, okay, there's still going to be computers around. I mean, I'm not saying like, I don't think this technology is going to come out tomorrow and everyone's going to be like, put your TVs and computers in the trash. It's all over. We are moving on.
Yeah,
That's not how it's going to
No,
work.
no, it's
you know
not.
what I mean? So, yeah, you still use computers.
I don't feel like this is.
Maybe but she is wearing goggles right now. So.
True. I don't think this is them at home. I think this is a work atmosphere.
Okay, so it's cut to another.
I feel like it's a work atmosphere.
Okay, that's better than building.
And on the desk is like a grid, and they have a motorcycle.
And it's like a little 3D model of the motorcycle that they're building, which is just pretty cool. And it's rotating too as
Yeah,
you walk.
of course. Of course it's rotating. Why wouldn't it?
New ways to visualize our work.
So then she clicks the button, it disappears, and she walks over to the model of the motorcycle that they're building. Everyone's still wearing goggles. Like pokes it or points at it with her finger.
Yes, but all that's in front of you.
So she just points at it with her finger, and the piece that she just designed on the computer just 3D renders on top of the actual motorcycle they're building.
Right.
Awesome.
Yes, that is awesome.
I'm just trying to describe it. For
I don't know why you'd build a motorcycle, but sure.
Why?
I don't.
What?
There's so many other things you'd be doing with this than. That's what I could see. Never mind.
That's a good. You know why? Iron Man. That's why.
True.
Because they're like, I want to build something like Iron Man. That's why they did that right there.
Exactly right.
Because this is very, Tony Stark's
This is
lab.
very Tony Stark, yes.
All they need is Jarvis as the voice, and you're set, man.
Yes. Now, this is a different aspect of it. She is
yeah.
walking down a row of desks on the right or the left, and she has a video call.
Yes.
And it is traveling with her.
At the same speed. It's
so
like
it's
hovering in
not
front of her.
stuck on a wall, so you move, and the screen is always in the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
Which just seems horrible. I could be wrong.
Maybe there's like it's no, this can't be the way it works, but I'll just share this thought.
Not the GPS.
No, maybe it's like sending out sonar. Not sonar, but infrared. You know what I mean? So it knows that wall is this far away from you. So as you walk towards it, that distance becomes shorter. It knows that screen needs to change in accordance with how far or close you are. You know what I mean?
That would be crazy.
I mean, I agree that's probably not the technology used, but I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. You know what I mean? It's too cool.
The images in OneDrive.
Now,
and he's sharing.
This is what I think we can when we're driving. We could have we could talk to people, and we have your speed up here and all kinds of stuff. It's
That's
going
a
to be
disaster. That's a disaster.
You're thinking insurance wise.
Well, yeah. Not only that, I'm thinking that you used to watch TV.
Oh, I
on
watch
your
TV
phone.
all the time when driving.
That's such a bad idea.
It's in my view, and it's not like I need to look at the screen. I'm mostly listening to it every once in a while.
It's like listening to a podcast. All right.
Well, not really. I mean, I'm watching TV.
All right.
Okay,
now we're getting to what I
we
like.
get it. Yes.
So you go ahead. Describe the scene.
No,
there.
you go.
All right.
You
So a gentleman walks into a very posh living room, and basically he's wearing his goggles once again. Everyone's wearing goggles, so that's
of
just
course.
accepted.
Yes.
And I don't know. He doesn't even gesture to it. He just like taps. He like waves his finger in front of his field of view, and the entire landscape of the room that he's in.
Okay.
First of all, it gets like a matrix,
like
glimmer
Tron,
around,
like Tron, just
around the room, just and then
like
just
the
populates
like the hologram deck on Star Trek.
the holodeck.
The holodeck just
all of a sudden it just starts. It's like a one quick shimmer, and then while still being able to see the walls and everything like that, all the furniture and tables and stuff just become Minecraft.
Yes.
Terrain.
My other thing is this:
which is awesome.
If you live in an apartment that has no furniture in it, shoot, you can just create the furniture. You could look like you're in.
because you can't sit on VR.
I'm not saying you can't sit on
no,
it,
you're
but
saying
you can make
decoration?
it look good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You'd have a very
You can
crappily decorated apartment.
All you need is
just boop.
All you need
Some
is
goggles.
just basic furniture,
Mm-hmm.
and then you could overlay it with something and sit on it. It might not feel good, but it looks
it's
beautiful.
like milk crates, but it looks
It
like,
looks beautiful.
like a hanging chair from the ceiling. Or
Okay,
something
back
like
to the Minecraft thing.
Alright, so-
sorry.
Ways to play.
that. And literally, he's reaching out and manipulating the terrain with his hands. It's
New ways
ridiculously
to
cool.
teach and learn.
That
So put the
is.
new trap
You got me on
Okay,
Minecraft.
pause. Because this one's
This is
pretty
another
cool, too.
crazy.
So yeah, gaming possibilities. Oh,
By the way,
are awesome.
if you're listening to this podcast on Apple or anything like that, I can't help you. But if you go to our YouTube channel, username Nerd News, I'll have a link to this video.
Gotcha,
You can,
yeah.
And at the end of this,
What
I'll try
about-
and find
what
the
about
link
just
of it.
UsernameNerd.com? Can we put it on that?
We
as well?
can
There
put it
you
at
go.
usernamenerd.com.
There you go.
There you go.
So real fast, the gaming possibilities are crazy
The
because you
gaming,
could do
yes.
first-person shooters. You could do
Live first-person shooters.
Well, yeah,
You're
you know what I
basically
mean?
just paintball.
Well, it's cooler than just paintball.
I'm just
I mean,
saying, but without the
basically
paint.
just pong.
Without the paint. Sorry.
But yeah, there's racing games would be amazing on
I
this.
mean, you're basically the holodeck.
yeah. It's awesome. Now the holodeck, you could eat the food.
Well, okay.
And you could interact with the stuff.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
You can't eat the food. It might taste horrible.
Yeah.
You can sit on the furniture, but it's milk
It's
crates.
going to look like an apple, but it's actually a diaper. Oh. Alrighty. So then in this next scene.
This is great. She is trying to fix a sink.
There's a lady fixing the sink wearing the goggles.
Which, this is out of the ordinary because I would think women know how to fix everything and men do not. That was sarcasm. Sarcasm.
I see what you did there.
I kind of like, wow, they put a female like, I don't know how to fix a sink. And they put a little...
so on the wall, which is not, she's hunched down underneath the sink. So on the wall next to the sink, at her eye level, is a little screen with what looks to be...
a guy.
Yeah, it's just some guy.
Doesn't really matter. He's not really...
True.
Looking at him doesn't really help you.
Doesn't matter.
But what he is doing is he can
Explaining how to...
Yeah, he can see through
what
her
she
camera.
sees. Yeah.
And he's like putting arrows on how to turn righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And yeah.
Yeah, literally, he's literally... drawing. He's watching her feed on like an iPad or something like that.
And so when she's
hang on. So he's drawing on the iPad. Like you need to spin it this direction. And in her field of view, all of a sudden, an arrow like it just appears around the pipe, telling her to turn it this direction.
This would help me and my wife.
That's so cool.
So much. Because she calls me and is like, "What do I do? Where's?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's the third thing from the left." Oh my gosh, yeah. This would be This is going to solve so many fights.
Or create a lot more.
Yes.
I mean,
yes,
let's be honest.
Yes.
All right, so yeah. Anything else you want to describe about that?
And tighten
How cool it is?
here.
No, that's
too cool.
That is really cool.
New ways to collaborate.
Well, think about this. You want to fix your own car? You could probably get on with a technician, and the technician will help you go through it.
Oh, well.
Well, think about it. I called.
Have you
called
looked in the engine of
Google
a
or
car
something.
lately?
Huh?
Have you actually been in the
Well,
engine of a
I'm
car
just
lately?
saying anything
It's so
like that.
compact and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
You can find people that will help you with electricity.
Oh yeah, that's very true.
Electrical,
That's a much better.
All kinds of different things.
Cooking shows.
Fixing a tire. I mean, sure. Oh, cooking shows.
Think about a cooking show that literally, instead of watching the cooking show, the ingredients like 3D appear on the counter and start to make, and you just mimic what you're seeing.
Oh yeah.
Put that in your video.
Now we are on the Mars.
Yes. All of a sudden, this guy,
which
you can see, he's working at a desk, and the desk and himself are the only things represented in reality. Everything else around him is Mars. He's like, okay, cool. He just walks out into Mars.
No. I don't quite know what they're getting on with that. They didn't stay on there very long.
Yeah. They're like, you could also go to Mars.
Oh, is that an ingredient? Is that food? Oh, no.
No. What is
I have
that?
no
Like a
idea.
game? Like a kid's game? Sculpture?
Oh, basically we're making... And then we're back.
That feels like draw with friends or something like that.
Okay, I can see that.
Back to building a computer. Back to building a...
Oh, he built a toy for his kid that's
pause.
not real.
No. It is real. You said you can 3D print.
Oh.
I caught that the first time around. So you build something, 3D print it. Now your kid's got a rocket ship that Dad designed. Yeah.
Somebody I worked with, Brandy. I'm not gonna throw her last name, but she got a 3D printer and she is creating a BB-8. She just got that. Yes.
Cool.
Getting the whole thing.
That's awesome.
So yeah. Anyways.
All right. So then he.
Okay. Hold on.
Dynamite.
He took some TNT from Minecraft, put it on the wall, and the wall exploded, and you can see through the wall.
Yeah, and all of a sudden the wall explodes. He like pinched the dynamite.
Oh my gosh!
The
You
wall
ever think about
explodes.
that? You could make your windows just
stormy day, sunny day.
take it.
Matter.
Yeah, it's the beach now. You can make your whole wall that maybe has 3 windows on it. Instead, make it all windows and the beach.
You know, this reminds me of that Corningware.
Yeah, the Corningware
video.
This makes me happy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was just saying, like watching this video to begin with, I was like, I would never take
them off. I don't care what they look like.
I'm not gonna lie, you look pretty dopey with them on, but I don't have to see it.
Exactly.
I don't care.
Yeah.
This is
Walks into his
Microsoft
living room.
HoloLens.
See the cartoon dog? He walks in the living room and there's a little cartoon dog just following him around.
Yeah.
So you got virtual pets.
Microsoft HoloLens. Let me see Microsoft 10.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. This is a longer video. This is not what we watched first time. What is this?
When you think about
This is
how
what we
you
watched. We just kept going.
Okay. Well, the rest of this
or
is
to take
crazy stuff.
for
No.
Okay,
years.
hold on. I'm getting it.
Secretly.
Pause it. There we go.
There you go. So,
Yes, if you look up Microsoft reveals the HoloLens augmented reality headset, just put that into and Camera Cot is the channel. And I could give you this code, but I'm not going to.
So okay, what are some other
Augmented reality stuff?
applications you could imagine for this technology? I'm also thinking of obviously for kids, this would be amazing. I mean, this would just be
Teaching.
amazing. Could you? Oh, yeah.
Teaching would be amazing if you could get everybody in class. If you had, I mean, that's 30 headsets, but I wonder if they could all work on one system where you bring in a dinosaur and you just see this thing. And
You know what else? The sorry, not to interrupt, but
No, go for
the
it.
Mars thing right there.
Right.
Okay, so like we said, these aren't like Oculus Rift glasses.
No, they're not.
But apparently they can be. As in, it changes the environment around you to whatever you want. So it's not as immersive as Oculus Rift, as in.
I'd like to see the glasses because Oculus Rift has a complete 360.
Yeah.
Like the thing is so thing that no matter where you look, there's not like off camera. Where this,
Yeah.
it might be. I mean, there's got to
agree.
be somewhere where you're not looking. I mean, the screen's not completely. It could be completely
could
wrapped
be.
around.
Who knows?
But if that's true, then yes, you can do that. But there's a
Yeah.
problem with light. There has to be a problem with light.
Yeah. I agree. And also, it looks like it doesn't look like it's completely enclosed and then there's cameras feeding you what you're seeing. It looks more like it's semi-enclosed with two big clear panes that you can physically see through, but still it can still project whatever needs to be on top of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that makes it sound a lot worse than the video portrayed it to be.
Now, this is also a video.
Yeah.
And they're also,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not out yet. We don't know.
True, but it is also Microsoft.
True.
Which, if anybody could do it,
True.
Microsoft would be the ones.
Yeah.
Or Apple or Google. But, you know, hey.
Yeah. Any
Either
of the big
one,
three.
One
yeah.
of them. It's definitely not going to be, 7-Eleven.
But
that makes
teaching
the
is,
video.
yes. Teaching would be, I can
yeah.
only imagine
Oh,
that
yeah.
would change everything.
Well, and it's just so many simple tasks that it would just be so nice to be able to visualize visualize what you want the other people to see. You know what I mean?
I love
as far as
just,
teaching goes.
I want a world where I can very easily see stuff. If I go by the oven, I know it's hot. I know it's set at 500 degrees. I know there's 20 minutes just by looking. You know what I'm saying?
I do, but that's so
What?
funny. You're like, I want a world where the oven tells
Well,
me
I
when
can
it's
just
done.
go around and see stuff.
Yeah.
But
Just
I'm
notifications. All sorts of
notifications
notifications.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would agree. I would say another cool feature would be if you're cooking and you set a timer.
Mm-hmm.
Not only would you be able to look over at the oven and see the timer, but maybe there's a timer projected on a wall in any room you walk in.
Right.
So you go to the bedroom, all of a sudden there's still that timer on the wall. If you go into the living room, it's on a different wall, but there's that timer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is also how I imagine the smart house.
Yes.
Just very, very responsive, very integrated.
We've got to get to a point where everything ties together, and we're getting there, but it's tough. My Alexa should be able to, turn my lights off and on.
Your Alexa should be able to
I love my Alexa. but-
hear you when you say stop playing turn down for what? Because
Now-
it does not.
Well, 'cause the
you
music is
play
so
turn
loud.
down for what? Crank to like 700. Ugh,
Alexa.
no.
There he is. Yeah. So,
Don't play turn down for what?
and also you have to know it. It gets better at knowing your voice. You don't. I mean, he
True.
picks up on your
Very
voice,
true, yeah,
but yeah.
That's usually because I'm shouting. Alexa. So this is really far from the augmented reality that we saw 4 or 5 years ago. You know
yes,
what I mean?
because the only difference I see is the augmented reality had some kind of spot or something you needed.
Some reference point.
Where this does not look like it has any reference, which is
So
pretty
I wonder,
smart.
Also, I wonder if there's maybe like an initial setup where you have to walk around your house and let it almost
I'm sure,
scan
yeah.
your house.
Like
in
a
order
3D
to know.
print
Yeah.
of the house.
So there could be a lot of things here that we're not seeing in the video, but as of right now, I would say this is an awesome product.
And
Microsoft has produced magic, and I will buy every single.
Like I said, this was a year ago.
Yeah,
They're talking 2016 is.
that's this year.
Yeah.
We're gonna get it.
The end of 2016 is what I've heard is
that's
when this
crazy.
stuff will be released.
We had you were talking about how everything should be integrated, but it's hard. We had a conversation today about literally. I got to class today, and they were like, "What would happen if Google bought Apple?"
Oh,
Like, it would never happen.
That would never
That's
happen.
how Skynet happens. Google buys Apple, and then
Apple has so much
the
money.
machines will rise.
They have so much money just set aside. They have more money than the government.
Yeah,
Is what I've
Yeah.
heard. And cash reserves.
Are they really? They're still doing pretty good, right?
Oh, they're
Okay.
still doing pretty good.
What do you think of the direction of the company? As far have you seen anything about the new? This is off topic. I'm sorry.
Are we talking about Apple?
Apple. The new phone they're putting out, iPhone
Mm-mm.
7. It's small.
Really?
It's back
I
down to
love small.
It's back down to
I love
smaller
it.
than this even.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know you love that stuff.
You don't. People.
I want big.
I think the big phones are over.
I would like the iPad Plus or iPad Pro as a phone. That's what I would like. Great.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Why do you okay, you think big phones are dead?
No. I think
Or over or
there's
whatever?
a certain market that it's been played out.
Yeah, okay, I would agree with that. I would say what Apple needs to do is, hey, here's the iPhone 7. And it's the normal size. Okay, the same size like the 5C. Here's the iPhone 7 Plus, big. Here's the iPhone 7 minus, smaller.
True.
Obviously, it's
They'll
Apple.
never say
They'll come up
minus,
with some
but-
better
Right,
names than that. But here's the iPad 7 Mini.
There's a lot of people that
So-
don't want to do a bunch of stuff on their phone. They'll do that on the iPad.
Agreed.
And instead, they want something small, and it's getting to the point where people can't put their phone. It doesn't matter
their pocket?
iPhone or anything else, but they can't put it in their pocket because
Yeah.
it's so freaking
Yeah.
huge, and they tend to
Mikey,
break
our
more.
stepbrother, his
And-
phone's huge.
And they tend to everybody's phone that is big,
big.
I see is cracked.
Well, that's also those people aren't using freaking cases. I don't understand.
I
somebody
just
who doesn't
think
use a case
it's
on their phone.
because it's a smaller phone. You can put it safely, but it's more bigger phones just break easily because they're
True.
always.
I guess you got
try to
more
put it-
chance
yeah,
of it breaking
I don't
if
know.
it's a lot bigger. It makes
We're
sense.
at 30. We're at
Makes sense.
37.
Okay, well, real fast. Sorry. There was something else. Did you want to just mention Free Comic Book Day? Because I thought that was kind of a cool
Yeah,
thing.
sure.
So we won't even go into too much detail.
This will
we were
actually
gonna do
be that in 2 days will be Free Comic Book Day.
Perfect. So we were going to do a little video about it, but I don't want to talk too much about the specific video we're going to do. We can touch on that stuff
Mhm.
later. I just thought this was so cool. I've never heard of this before.
Really?
Ever.
Yeah.
I think actually I probably had when I was really going to comic book
Mhm.
shop recent, or on a regular basis, but I'd forgotten. So,
Mhm.
but this is such a cool idea. So if you don't know, it's always the first Saturday in May
Mhm.
is Free Comic Book Day. Now, you know how you watch a McDonald's commercial and they're like, at participating McDonald's only.
True.
This is at participating comic book stores
True.
only. So it's not like you can go into any comic book shop and be like, give
But
me comics.
It's Marvel. It's not the comic book
Shop,
stores.
yeah.
It's the actual Marvel DC.
It's
They
the-
put out
the
special
universes,
stuff.
yeah.
So-
So basically, they will pick a book, and Mike read the list a little earlier today
Mhm.
off the podcast.
There's
but-
about one for each. Marvel has one. DC has one. Image has one.
So
Dark
hey,
Horse.
if you guys are into comics,
Yeah, check it out.
and or maybe you want to get into comics, and you don't know that much about it, here's your window. Not only to go to a comic book shop and get free comics, but to go to a comic book shop on a day when that specific comic book shop is really focused on expanding their audience. So they would definitely be willing to answer questions.
Yeah.
You know, well, they're willing to answer questions anytime.
Yeah, they will.
Honestly, comic book shops are like the nicest place in the
They
world as far as
They really are.
they
They're
will
very,
treat their
very
customers great.
helpful.
So yeah.
So we got a couple things. We have a phone number now.
Yes.
913-717-NERD, N-E-R-D, if you don't know how to spell nerd. Go ahead and call us and just ask us questions, whatever. We'll put you on the air. If you don't want to be on air, just say, I don't want to be on air, but I want to talk to you about whatever. It's very simple. It's a message, and that will give us, it's like an audio clip, and we can put you on air and answer whatever question you want. We got a couple of other
Or
things.
comments. It doesn't have to be questions
comments
either.
as well.
Hey, you know, I really loved your guys' episode on yada 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 on Batman v Superman.
Yes.
You go, man, Tim got so many things right. It was just like, and if you look up accuracy in the dictionary, it actually says refer to Username Nerd's comic book on Batman v Superman. It's a really long explanation. It's awful, but.
We have our YouTube channel. We are learning still on the YouTube universe. We are splitting our channel into 3 different channels. We have
And
so many
more to come,
possibly
I think,
more.
yeah.
We have so many different topics. We had games and Legos and news and comic books. That what we are finding is we'd get a bunch of subscribers, and then we would release something on board games, and then the people that were there for Legos would be like, "Why are board
I
games
don't want a
coming
board
up?"
game,
Right,
but
so
yeah.
they were kind of unsubscribing, but then and then everybody wanted their own thing, so we're gonna kind of split it up. And kind of go. The
Into some
news
different
is going to
channels,
cover all kinds of news stuff, but mainly the Kansas City and all the surrounding. I know we might be doing some conventions over in St. Louis or maybe as far down as Dallas, but we're going to cover the middle of the country and all kinds of. We have been contacted just so many things. I did not know there was that much out there, but man, there is a lot out there to cover.
Yeah.
We're going to have a full-time job just pretty much doing that.
Woohoo!
And then there's the other normal things. We're Username Nerd at Username Nerd for Twitter. And
yes, sorry.
comments at Username Nerd.
You can also, so say you want to send us a comment and you cannot remember. You were like last week, oh man, what was it? Comments at Username Nerd, or was it Schmaments at Username Word? I don't remember. Well, now you don't have to. You could just say Tim at UsernameNerd.com.
Whoa, okay.
We're not giving those out?
No,
Is that-
you don't have. You
Okay.
can.
So, you know, you can just say, hey, Tim at UsernameNerd.com.
UsernameNerd.
Were we not supposed to give those out?
No, you
Oh
can
my
give them
gosh.
out.
Well, because that's mine. You feel free.
Feel
you write
free.
me whatever
you
you
go
want.
right
I'm
straight to Tim.
down.
You can chew him out.
I guess we weren't doing that.
No, it's totally fine. Totally fine. I just never thought of. I mean, I thought they just.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Okay.
cool.
What else? There was some other things.
You do it. You think.
Okay, go for it. That's not helping me at all.
Okay.
It's making it worse.
Boots and cats
anyways,
and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots.
but that's really it.
Yep. Alrighty, so that was the musical stylings of Tim Hewitt. You know what we watched today?
Oh, I know what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
We are changing our site to be more inclusive, to have podcasts and videos, and I'm thinking we're going to do articles as well. If you are interested in writing stuff,
Absolutely.
let us know. You can write Tim at UsernameNerd.com.
Yeah, you know what? Seriously, send me your stories. It can be obviously like articles on events, or it could be editorial stuff. That's
Editorial.
fine. Let me know. That being said, it's not like everything might make it up. You know what I mean?
Right,
but
right.
it'll definitely start that.
If
back
we
and
have
forth.
enough interest, then I'm going to change the website to actually take articles. I've been wanting to do that, but I haven't had time, and videos have been consuming my life.
Yeah.
And the Planet Comic Con has been consuming my life. But yeah. Is
Yep.
that it?
So, did you mention the fact that we're going to Planet Comic Con?
We're going to Planet Comic Con May 20th to the 22nd,
Which is the
Kansas City, Missouri, Bartle Hall.
We have a booth.
We have a booth.
Come by and see us.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
We're going to be making some videos there.
A lot of
We're
people.
going to be doing some podcasts there.
There is Stan Lee and Kevin Smith and man,
Who's the most recent adoptees?
Mayhem, Peter Mayhem.
Peter Mayhew.
Oh.
I think I am right. I think
Yeah, I think you're
I
right.
think it's Mayhem.
Yeah. I don't think it's
like
Mayhem.
a G.I. Joe character,
You're right.
like Sergeant Mayhem. So Peter Mayhew, who is of course,
You're right. It's that.
who is he? Michael.
Oh, it's Chewbacca.
Yeah,
Uncle Chewie.
So he's the guy. He's the guy in the Chewbacca costume. Brilliant actor. Never knew.
Mayhew. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That one. One. When you said it, sounded right.
George Takei, and then also recently added was the lady
Danielle
from,
Panbaker.
What has she been on? She's
been on Justified and The Flash.
Justified was where I actually recognized her first.
Yep. There's a lot.
You watch this one?
No.
It's so good. It's only on FX. If you are a Amazon Prime subscriber,
Oh, yeah.
So good. Anyway.
Okay.
But yeah. So I
Stay
would say
nerdy.
stay nerdy.
Okay, stop. Don't go to the next YouTube video or channel or skip or don't do anything. Real quick, 5 seconds. We have 3 different channels. Please subscribe to them. Username Nerd News, Username Nerd Comics, Username Nerd Games. We have separated them out into 3 ones. Choose all of them or just one to subscribe to. You'd love it. I promise you, we'll give you great content. It'll show up in your feed. You'll love it. Just real quick click. It doesn't take but a few seconds. You'd be awesome. Thank you. I mean, you're really awesome. Thank you.